Hello everybody, welcome to another knife unboxing. Today we have a very special knife. I've been looking at getting a USMC K-bar type knife for quite a while. Obviously I have my Glock 81 field knife, but I wanted something a little more American, you know? So here we have the Ontario Knife Company, made in the USA, Spec Plus combat knife. I picked this up at, I believe it was Cabela's. Yeah, I think it was Cabela's. I forget how much I paid for it. I think it was around $40-50, something like that. And sometimes these go up in the 80s or more. So I thought it was a pretty good deal. Let's see what it says on it. Tools, tactical, survival. We have the SP-1 combat knife. It says the overall length is 12 inches. Blade length is 7 inches. Blade material is high carbon steel. Hardness is 57 to 59 HRC. Handle material is synthetic rubber. And the sheath is included. Alright, let's get it open. I'm going to use my K-bar dozier designs as usual. Start at the top and work our way down. I like this packaging already. This is like pretty easy packaging to get into compared to many different styles that I have dealt with in the past. This packaging is just easy to cut. So, there we go. I don't want to cut the sheath. All right, it's not in the sheath, right? It's on the top. They give you a shoelace with it. That's interesting. This is very low quality. I would expect something more like paracord for the price and for the company brand. I mean, they have a pretty good reputation typically, but here's the knife. Not quite as grippy as I was expecting, but it is rubberized at least. I don't know if this is full tang. I do see that there is a hole through the back. I'm assuming for this, but it says SP-1 Combat on the base of the blade, as you can see there. Ontario Knife USA on the other side. My concern with this is it appears... Is that in the coating? I can't really tell. I can't tell if that's the coating's just not there, and that's the bare metal. If so, I'd be worried about that rusting being high carbon steel. I like the coating on here, actually. We'll see how well it holds up over time, but this coating feels really, really good. Almost like a Teflon. Did it say anything about it on here? It didn't. But it feels like a Teflon almost, like your non-stick pans. Obviously you got the blood groove here. The edge looks a little weird, like with where the coating fades off into the blade. I guess that's where it was sanded down, but you can see a little bit of variation in that. It looks very nice. See how sharp it is. Okay, that's pretty sharp. A little duller here, and very dull up here. That is, I don't know if you can see that. That grind is not symmetrical. I don't know if that's by design, but you can see this side is ground down. Ooh, let me get the focus here. You see that is ground down about that much, and the other side it's ground down quite a lot more. I mean, that's a significant amount more on this side, and when you get to the tip, it's very noticeable. I mean, can you see that? That is a big difference in the grind. The tip is obviously meant for stabbing. But that kind of concerns me. I mean, it's not really going to be an issue with the use of the knife, I hope. But the tip is a little thinner than I was expecting. And like I said, the grind being asymmetrical is a little odd. Other than that, it feels like a really great, solid knife. Nothing to complain about there. Very solid guard. Oh, wait. That bends. I mean, I'd still think that this would protect you. You are not going to slide up on that. But if you put too much force, I mean, that bends back. You could get your hand onto that knife if you're really putting a ton of force on there, which worries me a little bit, because this is just me holding it in my hands. Imagine if you really were going at something. You could slip off of that, and then your hand is going... That's not a good time. Back is rubberized too. I wouldn't be doing any pounding with this. You're gonna mar it up pretty bad. Still very cool looking knife, very unique. I like the coating, and it's got this shiny, one little bit of shiny right here, and it's very, very nice to look at. Very nice to look at. It's a beautiful blade, but I can't get over the asymmetrical grind and the rubberized. Like, it's very rubberized. I was expecting, you know, a typical rubberized grip, not the whole thing is bendy. You'd think there'd be a piece of the metal going out to there for the finger guard. Well, one of these days I'll get my hand on an actual USMC K-bar knife with the leather rings and everything like that, and we'll compare it. Let me get my Glock 81 and compare. Alright, this is my Glock 81 field knife. I have used and abused this. I have thrown this all over the place. I have pulled this cap off, put a stick in it, and used it like a spear. I have pounded this thing into oblivion. I have not oiled it as much as I should. It has definitely rusted in several places. Coating is definitely coming off on the tip, especially you could tell from all the throwing. I bent the tip a little bit. It's pretty dull because of me. But this is solid metal on the finger guard, and this is actually grippier than this. Now this has more belly to it here, but you can definitely orient yourself with this. Like, you can feel which side the blade is on. This one you can't. But I don't know. I guess with batoning, I don't know which would be better. I'd probably want to guess this, because it's got a good amount of thickness. It looks about the same thickness wise. Of course, you don't have the saw back here. With this coating, I don't think you'd be able to strike. Actually, you might be able to. That's pretty sharp still. You might be able to strike a ferrocerium rod. Here, this hole is for you to put a nail through, so you can make this a spear tip. I'm curious to see how this will hold an edge and batoning and all that. I'm sure this would be a bit stronger, mostly because it has this depth to it. You can see, comparing them, this part that's the full thickness goes all the way down to basically the entire depth of what the K-bar is. Lining up the bases of them, looks like K-bar is about half an inch to an inch longer, probably 3/4 of an inch longer on the blade, and overall probably an inch longer, maybe more. It's just interesting to compare them. Made in Austria, made in America. The grind on the Glock was definitely better from the factory, but I'm curious to see how well it will hold up. Like I said, especially with it being high carbon steel, and this being what appears to be exposed metal, if that'll rust over time or what. I love this coating though. This matte black coating is lovely. And this you have to keep oiled. Also, if you hear the 3D print in the background, I'm sorry about that. I'm printing something right now. I'm actually printing an out the front knife, automatic knife that's plastic, obviously, but has a rubber band as a spring. It's just an interesting project. Sheath-wise, though, this looks like it has a solid piece of plastic in there, in the sheath. And that is actually kind of difficult to push in there. I don't know how this strap is supposed to go around it. Like, what is the point of this? Because that's obviously not going on there when the blade's in there. Yes, I hope not. What's this supposed to connect to, right? Maybe it's for a different knife, but that is certainly a little odd. I like that the back strap is adjustable at the top here. Looks like you have a loop at the top for a lower carry. And then there's also the molly. Is this molly? Well, several straps in any way, at any rate, for you to put a belt loop through here if you want it a little higher, or if you want to strap it to a bag or something like that. Let's see, does this come off? Oh, hold on. Is that attached? No, that's not attached. So why is this here then? You can pull that out if you want to. So that's interesting. This is definitely, I wouldn't call it the best sheath in the world, but it is much higher quality than other nylon sheaths I've seen, especially with the ability to adjust it and attach it in many different ways. And I can't figure this out though. Like, this doesn't make any sense unless, I don't know, what are you gonna do with it? Are you gonna put it around the front? Is this how it's supposed to go? Because that does not appear to fit. Maybe. I guess that works, but it's odd, to say the least. I guess it does work. I don't know, it just seems a little weird to me. If we adjust this to be a little... Oh, it's a Velcro adjustment. That's interesting. Okay. Obviously, the retention in this is going to be fabulous. This is not going to go anywhere, but it is also, you have to do buttons and everything. I love the K-bar sheath. This is the most fabulous thing. Once you figure out that you can open it by pushing your finger in here, it's so easy. And you put it back in, it clicks. That is not going anywhere. It rattles a little bit, but, yeah, I'd have to say that the sheath design is a lot better on here. A lot more compact, but if you're gonna put it on a backpack, this is gonna be way better for you. So yeah, I'll make more videos in the future on how it goes with using it, batoning it, how it handles, how it holds up, balances the midpoint. You probably could throw this pretty well. Actually, balance is a little handle heavy. That's actually very handle heavy. There. Well, I'm interested to see if it rusts, and how the edge holds, and mostly this coating, if that holds over time with use. All right, cool. Well, thank you for watching. Good day.